Woo! Welcome to Made in Bloomsbury. I'm here with Oliver. Hi, Oliver.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on. Oliver, your story has been very inspirational. Could you tell us a quick bio and what inspires you to do what you do?
Yeah, I think firstly, thank you for having me on the podcast. And for me, really, a few years ago, I came across the IPCC's 1.5 degrees report. It said we had sort of 10 years to tackle the climate crisis, and that really kind of set me down a rabbit hole, looking into research and understanding the situation around climate and biodiversity. And around the same time, I had the birth of my son, and so I started thinking about his life and a future conversation with him, where we would talk about the state of the world, and he would almost challenge me as to why I didn't do more. And that was a real catalyst to me to dedicate my career to climate and nature, and to really look at how I can make a difference with the work that I do in accelerating funding to nature restoration and protection, and closing the funding gap to nature-based solutions.
Interesting. I came across voluntary biodiversity credits. Could you tell us what they are?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so at Earthly, our priority is to accelerate funding to nature protection and restoration, and we have a few different ways of doing that. The traditional route is through carbon credits, but we've recently launched voluntary biodiversity credits. So these are more, biodiversity enhancement focused projects. And in the UK, we're quite lucky that we have a compliance market. Basically, if you're a house builder and you are trying to get planning permission, you need to map out the biodiversity impact of your development, and you need to offset it by 110% to get approval. So they've created this whole new market of compliance biodiversity credits called B&G units. And what we've done is essentially taken these B&G units and we've converted them into voluntary credits. So we've split them into 9 square meters. And it's a 30-year legal agreement where your 9 square meter area of land, which is one voluntary biodiversity credit, is dedicated for biodiversity restoration over 30 years. And we hope it's a way to drive funding towards things like rewilding projects, which historically have found it harder to get carbon-based finance. And yeah, really excited to have a partnership with the South Downs National Park, which is where our first pilot project is located. And over the coming weeks, we'll be expanding other locations around the UK, and we've already started selling to a few different corporates. So one of the first buyers we had of credits was King, who are part of Activision Blizzard. And so yeah, it's a really interesting new product, and we're excited to bring it to market.
Sounds very exciting. So, why are nature-based solutions superior for carbon removal?
I mean, for us, we've exclusively focused on supporting nature-based solutions at Earthly because not only can they contribute a third of the carbon and kind of climate mitigation needed, but they contribute 100% of the biodiversity um, support that we need as well. And we often talk about, if we get to net zero as a as a species around the Earth, and we don't fix the biodiversity crisis as well, then we're still in a serious situation. So yeah, we love nature-based solutions because they can do a third of climate and carbon, 100% of biodiversity, and often the communities that are supported, are those people that are most affected by our changing weather and climate. So there's almost the triple benefit. So that's why we're 100% focused on accelerating funding to nature protection and restoration. We're agnostic to ecosystem, we're agnostic to location. We just want to support the best projects around the world.
Okay. So how do you accelerate funding for nature-based solutions?
So I think a big challenge in the market is around trust, and there's been coverage of nature-based projects that aren't so good. So what we've done at Earthly is we've really focused on screening nature-based projects. And about 4.5 years ago, we built a scientific advisory board, and we developed an assessment that basically screens any nature-based project around 106 quality indicators. A third of them are in carbon, a third are in biodiversity, and a third are in people. So it's a really holistic screening approach. And an insight is we screened 400 projects last year and only 8% met our minimum standards across those 106 indicators. So we believe that we can, really help accelerate funding to projects by building trust in the market, by helping companies de-risk their nature investments and using our assessment. And so that really sits at the heart of what we do. And we're proud to be supporting businesses like Deloitte with their investments into nature-based solutions and de-risking their investments through our holistic assessment that we've developed.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time today, Oliver.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for having me on.